It is my pleasure to introduce this week's speaker.
Yay.
I met Audrey several years ago when she joined Kiwanis, but I really got to know her when we started talking about a key club, a community-based key club here in town. And we knew we had to have a Kiwanis sponsor, and we had to have a community sponsor. And Audrey just jumped up and waved her hand and waved her hand and waved her hand until we finally recognized that she wanted to be the community sponsor. So we were very impressed with all of her administrative skills and her volunteer skills. And then I thought she would be a perfect speaker. So I had heard her lead her congregation through a worship service in which she played the guitar. And so I asked her if she would create a program where she would play the guitar. And she said yes. And then today she said, no, I'm not playing the guitar. So she demonstrates the idea that she has her own mind. She will fool you sometimes, but she's very talented, she's creative, and I think you're going to find that out because I have no clue what she's going to do now. And you know Audrey, because we saw her all last year, and we are just so blessed to have her continue and to be our president last year and our past president, and just I know she's going to do great things with the Community Community Key Club.
Okay.
Just when you thought you didn't have to hear that anymore. So. But yes, Camilla had asked me a while back about doing a program early in October, and she mentioned about playing in the guitar, and I don't know, I started thinking about it, and after I tried to sing a couple weeks ago, I thought, I don't think you all need any more of that. So, but I do enjoy playing the guitar. Maybe somewhere down the road we can do that. But the actual title, if you saw in our bulletin, the title of the program today is Things I Did Not Do as President During My Term. And so, that can mean a lot of things. And I actually think I didn't really do a whole lot because you all, this as mentioned a few weeks ago, you all are such an amazing group, and most of the nuts and bolts of what needs to be done gets done by you all and committee members, committee heads. So, but there were some things I had thought about doing that I didn't get around to, and I'll bring that up in a minute. But I thought I'd share just a little bit about my background. As some of you know, I am from Texas, born and raised in a very small town outside of San Antonio. Bernie, Texas, had about 4,000 or 5,000 people when I was growing up. We had 2 red lights in town, so so small town, born and raised. And when I graduated from high school, I went the first 2 years of college. I went to Texas Christian University and majored in environmental science. Not even sure why, but anyways, it became clear to me after a couple of years that wasn't really going to be my calling in life. So I had done some volunteer work at a hospital and decided to switch majors to physical therapy. So I moved back home near San Antonio and went to the University of Texas Health Science Center in San Antonio, got my bachelor's degree in physical therapy. And then shortly after that, my husband and I got married. We were classmates. We graduated high school together. So shortly after that, we got married, and he had just gotten his bachelor's degree and was accepted into graduate school here at Purdue. So right after we got married, we moved up here. And he started graduate school, and I started working at home hospital as a physical therapist. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working with people, but it still just didn't seem to be what my lifelong career was. So I was still kind of searching. I did took some jobs working with kids in some after-school programs, took some education classes in a Master's of Education program at Purdue, took some classes. But along the way, I also started volunteering for the Salvation Army. Started working with their youth group, and since my husband was kind of busy with grad school, was looking for some things to do. So got involved with the Salvation Army along the way, and ended up just getting more and more involved with the Salvation Army. I started to feel that was maybe my calling, and ended up, my husband and I lived in Chicago for a couple years and did some ministry training with the Salvation Army, and then we were in Warsaw, Indiana for a few years working with the Salvation Army, and then his job brought us back here, and so I went to work at the Salvation Army here in 2002 as the program director. So out of environmental science and physical therapy and some education classes, I now have been a program director for the last 16 years, and actually really, really love it. I get to work with all different age groups, kids and seniors, and lots of volunteers, lots of different programs. I'm kind of would you call a multitasker? That's kind of my thing, and so it works out very well for what I do, and I love doing lots of different things throughout the day. And I do like one of the most fun parts of my job is doing programs and planning activities and that kind of thing. That's one of the more fun things that I do. So when it got to becoming, my term was coming up as president, I started thinking about this might be an opportunity to do some things with programming, because as I was approaching my year as president, I went to some of the leadership seminars they had in Kiwanis for training upcoming presidents and things like that. And there were a couple things that were mentioned that I thought about doing. One of them was actually they recommended doing a survey, a member survey, and trying to find out what people like about the meetings or what they don't like, maybe some suggestions, that kind of thing. And so I thought about doing that, and I think Rodney was even going to help me with that. And just once it started as president, it just kind of hit the ground running, and I never got around to coming up with a survey. So I will say, if you have any complaints or suggestions, just see Diane. Any recommendations, she would be happy to take those. But anyways, that was one thought that, like I said, I didn't get around to. The other thing they would suggest in some of these training workshops I would go to was to make the meetings fun, to do some fun little games, activities, have candy, have prizes, even throw candy and stuff. When I heard about some of that, I thought, now that's kind of up my alley with programs. But our club meetings, we already have a lot of fun. We do a lot of fun things. This is a great group. So again, there were some things I had in mind, but again, just with we always had lots going on our meetings, lots of exciting things happening. So I just never got around to incorporating some of the program ideas that I had. So when Camilla invited me to speak today, I thought, now is my opportunity to do maybe some of those things that I kind of wanted to slip into some of our meetings along the way. So today we're going to do just a few kind of fun things. These are some of the things I might do at different programs at the Salvation Army or different other groups I've been a part of. And one of the things I like to do with programming and activities, I like it to be fun, of course. That's a big thing. And I like to involve everybody, involve people. I like to sometimes make it challenging, where we've got to use our brains a little bit. We've done a little bit of this with the trivia and guess the quote, that kind of thing. And I also like trying to help people get to know each other. Now, some of you may be thinking, what are we going to be doing? This isn't my thing. So just remember, we only have about 20 minutes, at 40 at most, I promise. No, but we're going to just do a fun thing. This is just a sampling of some of the kinds of things that I do. Like I said, the more of the fun things that I do at work, and some of the things I thought about incorporating a little bit more throughout my presidency, and I just didn't get around to it. So in order to do this, we're going to do several different things, and nothing's going to last too long, so I promise it won't be too painful. But if you are, let's see, hopefully everybody's sitting at a table with others. If you're not, if you want to stay where you are, Jerry's. But let's see, I think everybody's at the table. We're going to do an activity with candy a little bit later. So I'm going to start the candy going around. I need you to everybody should take about 4 pieces. Don't eat it yet, just have 4 pieces and hang on to it and pass it around so everybody gets some. Jerry, I'll give you some anyway. Oops. If you want to eat yours, that's fine. So take 4, and while the candy's going around, we're going to start with one activity that's kind of, you hear the word icebreaker, and And so this is just a little discussion you can have. This is just, again, mainly for while the candy's going around, and then we're going to get Jairus involved in helping us with something. But just for a quick discussion with, 2 or 3 people around you, here's a topic for discussion. And then maybe a few of you can share after. We'll just take a few minutes. But so a topic for discussion, again, just to talk amongst yourselves. If you had the opportunity to have your own talk show, who would be your first guest? So if you had the opportunity to have your own talk show, who would be your first guest? So share that with somebody around you or a couple people around you. We'll do it up here.
Don't worry.
We're suspending reality.
Talk show on TV. Who do you want? Who do you want to be the guest? You want a talk show? Famous person. Who do you want to be on your show? Why?
Oh yeah, they need to be alive, currently living. If this is your first guest, sorry. It's a good question. They should be living today.
It really is. Our connection is
I tuned in if you got it.
All right, we got the candy down one aisle. Let's keep that going. All right, so who are some of the, just shout out a few, who are some of the guest people would like to have? But yes.
Drew Reed.
Drew, yes, I thought it was you I picked. Yes, Al.
You are a leader of a church, right?
Well, I'm part of a church. I am one of the leaders. I'm not the leader, but yes.
It's a church. Is it a Christian church?
Yes.
I have said that Jesus Christ, if you're a Christian, you believe that He is alive and with you. So we're going to, my choice was Jesus. I'd really like to talk to him.
That's pretty good.
All right, Ted.
I would have my first guest, you.
Oh. Yeah. That would be a flop. That'd be a flop. Thank you, Russ. Yes. Yes, Joe.
Me?
Yes.
We decided we'd have a local talk show, and we'd invite Martin Jiske or Richard Lugar, someone like that.
Okay, there we go. Any others? Gail.
Oprah Winfrey. She comes with her own audience.
There we go. Oprah Winfrey. Yes.
Condoleezza Rice.
I had thought of her too.
And she's coming back.
Carl.
Mitch Daniels.
Mitch Daniels. That would be good. Yes. Any others? Yes. John Norbert. Okay.
Bill Buffington.
Bill Buffington. That could be fun. Oh, who did you guys want up here? Bruce Springsteen. There we go. Bruce Springsteen. There's a good one. There you go. All right. Any other? Okay, I think. Oh, yes.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz from Philadelphia. Is that right? Philadelphia quarterback. Yes. Who's that? Russ Hart. There we go. Lots of interesting people. So just something fun to think about. So we won't do any more of that because we're going to move on now. As I think the candy's coming down this way. We've got one more aisle to go. So, but another game we're going to play, as you know, when I would share a quote and say who's the author of this quote, I like to do a little bit of trivia, some games along those lines. And I thought today, again, I like to incorporate, people with talent. I like to get them involved, and we have our own kind of tune master here in our club with Jairus. So one game, and I like to do games with music and have done that over the years. And I thought so it might be fun today to play a little bit of Name That Tune. So Jairus, before we start, Jairus, And I have prizes. I do have prizes. Now, when I was young, the prizes used to be like fun stuff to eat, like Snickers. Now that I'm older, it's Fiber One bars. So that's the prizes. Other than, and I do have a little bit of candy. So.
Which one?
Let's see, the candy's still going down. Okay, everybody, make sure
watching
you get
me,
your
huh?
4 candies because we're gonna do
You're
that.
watching me. I don't
All
think
right,
my
so
favorite
Jairus
color
is
is
going
not
to play.
here.
Are you ready
What am
with
I-
the first
what am
one?
I
He's
gonna
going to
do?
play a few bars.
Good ship lollipop.
Ship lollipop.
Good ship lollipop. Good ship lollipop.
Okay. Who was first? You guys are going to have to help me. Oh, that was Jairus. All right, here's Jairus. What was the answer? Say it out loud.
The good
Good
ship
ship
lollipop.
lollipop. There we go. All right, now I'm going to try to listen, so try to shout your answer out really loud so I can hear. And you guys help me see who's first.
Over the rainbow.
I'm just going to throw it. Oh, sorry.
Over the
I went too
rainbow.
far. All right, next one. Oh, I heard Camilla
Just
first.
entirely too easy.
Thank you.
I won.
All right, got another one?
Hail Purdue.
Our words.
Was that Dan or who's the winner on that one? Ron Bullock? Okay, where's Ron? There we go. You guys will have to help me find the winner. There we go. All right. We got another one? Who said it first? Joe did. Joe, okay.
Played that one earlier.
Yeah, he was, if you guys were paying attention earlier, I think he was practicing some of these before the meeting. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's happening. Okay,
How many bars you got left?
I don't know, you got a few more?
Yeah, that's lower.
Glowworm. Did you say that already?
Yeah.
No. All right. Yes. There you go. Anybody know that one?
Not a nice place to be at today.
Ooh, there's a stumper. That's good.
Alabama Jubilee.
Oh, good to have a stumper.
Give all the candy to Jairus.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'll do a little. That's okay. Sorry. All right. I'll do a quick little thing, and then we'll do one or two more, maybe. But I love music. And doing fun things with music, and you can use music for a lot of things. Like even at home, when my kids were a little bit younger, and you're trying to get them to do things, you can incorporate music into trying to get your kids to do things. For instance, when my son, I kept asking him to take out the trash. Well, the trash was just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. And so finally I thought, well, hey, this calls for a song. And the song, Hey Jude, worked out really well for that. And so I started going up to him, or started just in his presence singing. And again, sorry again, this is why I didn't bring my guitar to sing, but here we go. Started singing, hey dude, take out the trash. Take a bad smell and make it better. Yeah, hey dude, take out the trash. And it's really effective if you just sing it over and So using songs in some creative ways is a lot of fun. So do you have a couple others, or is it?
King of the road.
Yes, King of the Road. That's good. We'll get that one. King of the Road. King of the Road. Any other? One more, maybe one more?
Bunny hop.
You already won. Funny, huh? Very good. Well, then you got another one.
Give it to someone else.
Oh, you can. I'll let you share it. All right. Let's give her a say thank you so much. All right. Watch the time here. We're doing all right. So now, does everybody have 4 pieces of candy, and you're sitting close to someone else? So. Oh, you're taking. Oh, you can take it with you. That's fine. So, did you guys get candy up here? So y'all can play. We'll play amongst ourselves too. I need some. Listen, did you guys get candy over there? Okay. So we can play up here too. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to ask some questions. These are yes or no questions. And if the answer is yes, you hand a piece of candy to the person on your right. If the answer is no, you hand a piece of candy to the person on your left. Now, if you're sitting on the end, if it's on your left, you would just pass it to the person across from you, or if it's to your right. So we'll just kind of make it go in a circle here, so left and right. Some of you may be a little bit hard so maybe you can jump in between, but you guys kind of figure it out. So left to right, the answer is yes, candy to the right. If it's no, candy to the left. All right. And this kind of reminds me of some of the stuff Roy does at our picnics a little bit, but so he does some fun stuff like this too. But here's the question. Have you ever been to a college football bowl game? The answer is yes. Pass the candy to your right. Oh, yeah.
Bowl
The
game.
answer is no.
Championship game.
The answer is no. It goes to your left. All right. Your other left. Okay. Within the last month, have you seen a movie in the movie theater? The answer is yes. To the right. The answer is no. To the left. It's hard to find good movies these days. All right. If you are generally out of bed in the morning by 5 a.m., the answer is yes. To the right, no to the left. Stay. You're up and at 'em by. Is there anybody that's up by 5 a.m.? Oh, Letty is. Jeff is. There's a few. There is a few. Wow. Very good. If you have ever watched a television episode of Real Housewives, any of the versions, take a piece of candy to the right, or a piece of candy to the left, if no. All right. Do you drink more than 4 cups of coffee a day? The answer is yes. To the right. More than 4 cups of coffee a day. No to the right. Who drinks more than 4 cups of coffee a day? Got a few.
You drink more than 4 cups? Okay.
Yes is to the right. Sorry. No is to the left. I'm getting confused. All right. If you have ever re-gifted a present you received, ever re-gifted, yes to the right, no to the left.
Who's got
All right. If you have ever received a speeding ticket, where you had to pay a fine.
Speeding ticket in the
Yes,
car.
a speeding ticket.
For driving
A
too fast.
speeding ticket. Yes, you have. That goes to the right. All right. If you run out of candy, I don't know. All right, last one. Well, we only have a few more things to go. If you have ever gotten lost while you were driving and had to stop and ask directions, yes, to the right. No, to the left. So who's ever stopped and asked directions? None of the dogs.
Did you have to ask directions?
All right. Now let's see. Does anybody have 6 or more pieces of candy? Oh, very good. 6 or more. Let's see. You guys should all get some fiber. So, yeah. 6 or more pieces of candy. Yeah. Did anybody end up with 0?
Almost.
All right, this is 6 or more? 6 or more? 6. Let's see, I'm missing. Oh, I gotta get some gross.
I've got 7.
Oh, 7. That's good. 11. Wow. Who else had 6 or more? Okay. Let me get some over here.
All right.
All right. That's good. 10 is good. Did anybody end up with more than 10?
Give me yours.
Oh,
Give me
Sam had
yours
11,
and
right?
I have 10.
Sam got 11.
I got a present. Now you understand, huh? Now you understand.
All right, I just have one more game because I promise I won't keep you long. There we go. So this last game is called, and I do have a few more prizes. This game, and some of you may have played this at other places before, but it's called, you can call it what's in your wallet, what's in your pocket, what's in your purse. All right. And so if you have this item on you, and you're the first one to hold it up, then you win a prize. So, if you have a set of nail clippers, you have to hold it up. I got to see them. There we are. Earl, we got another. Oh my goodness. What's going on with this? There you go, Burl. Very good. All right. If you have a handkerchief that's not the color white.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was really fast.
That was really fast.
Wow. That's pretty good.
It works.
All right. If you have a receipt that has a non-food item on it, a receipt for something that's does not food, so it can't be a receipt from MCL today. But if you have anybody have a receipt on them that includes Jerry, very good.
Very good. Give him the fiber box.
Verify.
Parks and Recreation.
Yay.
All right. Let's see what else we have. If you have a quarter that has the state of Texas on it, yeah, you can give it to me, but I'll give you. Anybody have a? I'll let you be looking. While you're looking, I'll try to. You have to look through all your quarters. Didn't end up with the eliminate cans. If anybody has a Texas quarter, you get a 5 or 1 bar. While you're looking, I was playing this game. We had this game at a women's retreat this past spring, and I was actually leading the activity. And another lady who was kind of one of the guest speakers got up. She goes, "Oh, I have one. And she gets up there and she stands like this, and she said, All right, whoever's the first person to put their false teeth in my hand wins a prize. And somebody brought their false teeth in. We're not going to do that one. We're not going to do that one. People get a little fun. Any Texas quarters? No Texas quarters? How about an Indiana quarter? Texas or Indiana? No. Oh, what do you have? You have one? Not a Texas quarter or Indiana? All right, sometime that might be a stumper. All right, just a couple more. We're out of time. All right, does anybody have a glasses case? A case for your glasses? Al? Well, Al just won. I see one from Bill Ware back there, so I'll let him win that one. He was just about to say it. Turn this off for a second. There we go. And the last one, does anybody have a paper clip? Anybody have a paper clip on them? Well done. Do I see one?
Terry.
Oh, Jan, all right. All right. Well, I think that about brings us to our time, so I won't put you through any more, but that's just kind of welcome to my world a little bit, or at least some of the fun things that I get to do and enjoy doing, and I'm just glad to have the opportunity to share. And Camilla, thanks you for inviting me. Like I said, I don't know that this program really needs to ask any questions, but anyways, thank you all for playing. Thank you to Jairus.